Today's video is a Market Owl dashboard tutorial. The focus is going to be a few special features. Probably the most important page of this entire workbook is the disclaimer. You must read and agree to these terms or you're not licensed to use the tool, even if you bought it. The main thing I want to drive home is this is an educational tool. Nothing about it is a recommendation, and you're solely responsible for your own trading decisions and due diligence. On the main dashboard page, you notice that some things are highlighted, some of the tickers. I've set it up so that tickers that repeat themselves are highlighted. If they're leading, they're highlighted orange. If they're lagging, they're highlighted blue. It helps you quickly identify tickers that are showing up in multiple places. It's meant to draw your eye to them so that you can check them out and see what's going on. So you can have stocks that are in individual sectors that are performing very well for the day, and then you can also see that they're performing well in their respective market caps and their respective indices. In other videos, I've highlighted the Owl Watch tabs and the visual representation of data that they provide. First one is portfolios and watch lists. The second one is indices and market cap. Then we have sector details, and there's two additional ones. We have the Owl performance charts. This allows you to go back and look at the markets, the sectors, some economically sensitive tickers, the most popular mega caps, and then intermarket and risk data. And it lets you punch in dates that you're interested in over a period of time. Maybe I'm interested in last year. How did the indices do through 2020? And now I can see. I've got a quick view. So it's just a nice little quick performance charts. Let you see how things did, maybe over the year or the quarter or the week, whatever your interest is. Then there's Owl Watch tab number 4. This is a handy page to help you see whether conditions are improving or strengthening or weakening as the day wears on. It offers a visual representation that compares relative strength and weakness and advancing and declining stocks. Each one's clearly labeled and each one has a benchmark. If you want to adjust this benchmark, you have to go to the corresponding pages. So if I don't want IWM as my growth stock benchmark for this table, I have to go to the specialty watch list and change it right there. Let's look at the portfolio long. I can quickly see that the relative strength at the open was pretty weak. There were 12 stocks that had relative weakness and 8 that had relative strength. And that after the open, that really didn't change much. But what did change was the number of advancing versus declining stocks. At the open, I had 2 declining stocks and 18 advancing in my portfolio. But by the end of the day, and that's portfolio long, but by the end of the day, I had 11 declining and only 9 advancing. In one quick glance, I can see that as the day wore on, my long portfolio weakened. I can look at my watch list, my long watch list, and at the open, there were 12 stocks showing relative strength. But after the open, it fell to 5. And this is a real-time dashboard. So as your stocks advance or decline for whatever category it may be, whether it's the NASDAQ, your portfolio, your watch list, a market cap, it will change in real time. There's also a couple of little handy quick glances, a quick market, percent change from the open of the major indices represented by the ETFs, QQQ, SPY, DIA, and IWM. And then also a quick glance at the potential head and tailwinds. Again, percent change from open for the VIX, the dollar, oil, gold. You scroll down to the end, it's got quick glance sector information. This format follows the Market Owl dashboard main page. It's in the exact same order. You see you've got portfolio, watch list, specialty, then markets, then indices, then market caps, then sectors, and then at the end you have specialty watch lists. Portfolio watch list. I went ahead and grouped all the specialty watch lists together to make it a little more coherent. That's the only difference. The rest follows the main Market Owl dashboard page: indices, market cap, sectors. This page is incredibly helpful at letting the user see the acceleration and deceleration of relative strength and weakness of stocks that are advancing and declining, the changes throughout the day. Sometimes it can be challenging to see how the market is really truly performing as the day wears on. And by paying attention to what happens at the open versus the changes after the open, you can easily and quickly see when strength and weakness is creeping in to your portfolio or into your watch list or into the NASDAQ, the indices, into a sector. I want to highlight again that every single page has a red cell with an asterisk in it, and if you click on it, it offers guidance on how to use that particular page. It's usually up at the top and off to the right. Here's quite a bit of information. You probably don't need to read it if you've watched these videos, but there might be some extra helpful tidbits that I did not cover. Another little extra that I've added is if you go to the bottom of some of these pages, not the specialty pages, but the other ones, you'll find a little hyperlink. And if you click on it, it'll take you to a web page that offers some kind of helpful information that corresponds to that particular topic. This was a microcap page. Here's a microcap screener. You go to the NASDAQ, click on it, and it takes you to a NASDAQ list where you can copy and paste some of these tickers into an Excel page and then transfer them on over. One particular page that has a lot of helpful information is the sector page. At the bottom you'll find a hyperlink to the SPDR ETF that corresponds to it. Here's XLK. I just clicked it, the web page opens, and it's the holdings that the SPDR XLK has, and you can download this information. From time to time, institutions rebalance their holdings. They rebalance the stocks that are in their portfolio as well as their ETF. Another thing I've added is the number of tickers in each column. So in this case, you obviously don't want to copy and paste more than 73 tickers into the XLK category because that's the maximum number that it holds. If you do that, they'll go off the page and you won't see them and they won't be calculated. But it's just a handy reference if you want to know how many stocks are in each category. You'll find a hyperlink for each and every sector that is on this page. Here's some helpful tips on how to make the Market Owl easier to read. First thing you do is go up into your View tab. Uncheck grid lines if they're on. Uncheck headings if they're on. Uncheck formula bar if it's on. And then flip up the pop down. And now you have so much more space. It's so much easier to see what's going on. You have a much fuller view of the page. If you have any problems, 9 times out of 10, it's the data provider. For example, last week I had the Quick Market linked to some TD Ameritrade free data. And this morning when I opened up the Market Owl, it was completely blank and I couldn't get anything in this workbook that had TD Ameritrade as the data source to work. So I quickly changed it to Yahoo, and that's one of the reasons why I provided so many places for you to change data or to use multiple data providers. You're only as good as your data, and that is not uncommon for data providers to have issues from time to time. So it's really a good idea to always have some backup data providers in your pocket, whether they're paid for or whether they're free. I did mention that I had repeating tickers that show up highlighted. What I did forget to mention was that if there is a space in front of the ticker on the corresponding page, for example, if you had a space in front of this ticker on the NASDAQ page, it will cease to highlight those repeating tickers. So you really want to make sure the tickers are entered properly and that those cells aren't locked if you're copying and pasting them into the Market Owl dashboard. If you find that you have trouble seeing tabs or scrolling within any given page, you can always Go down to the scroll bar. You'll see your mouse changes from a pointer or whatever you happen to have it set on. And you can drag it and you can create a bar that you can pull to scroll. Well, I've done my best to highlight the things I think are important in this and the other videos regarding this workbook. I may have overlooked or forgotten to add a few things, but that's why I have the red cell with the asterisk in it on each and every page. So if you have a question, look there first. Maybe review some of the videos. If you're having problems, look to your data provider first. But if you still can't figure it out, feel free to email me and I'll do my best to help you. I hope you found some of this information helpful. Thank you for watching and good fills, everyone. If you found my free educational materials helpful, I encourage you to make a donation to the Children's Therapy Center, an outstanding nonprofit organization that helps children with special needs. You can also give without actually giving by using Amazon Smile. Amazon Smile is run by Amazon.com, and a portion of your purchases will go to the charity of your choice. Simply select Children's Therapy Center, located in Kent, Washington. You can find more about the Children's Therapy Center on my website on the Principles page. You can also find links to CTC on my YouTube channel in the About section, as well as under every video that I produce. Also consider donating if you've had a great year in trading. Be generous, contribute, give back. Lend a hand to those in need. You can find more free educational material on my website. Under the Education tab, you'll find helpful podcasts, YouTubes, chat room information, book suggestions, webinars, presentations, and helpful resource links. There's information on lessons learned and psychology, trades made, a dedicated section to trading growth stocks, market information, helpful tools and discounts on trading services, information on XLQ, an Excel plugin that retrieves real-time and historical financial data, market and stock analysis. And there's an assortment of videos on my YouTube channel. All this information is for educational purposes only, and the goal is to help you build a solid foundation that you can expand upon. Our chat room is popular and a favorite for many growth stock traders. Take the time to build a solid foundation of understanding before you begin trading. Take the time to clearly define your setups, your entry triggers, your sell rules, and most importantly, have a thorough plan for risk management. The first step in that journey is learning. There are no shortcuts to successful trading, so take the time to research and to educate yourself thoroughly.